Welcome Year 3 to this test, which I'm going to model for you. I'm going to work through the test, recording my workings and finding the answers. You should have a piece of paper or a book, because you should also record the answers and copy some of the workings that I do, because that will help you to remember for the future what you do for each question. So I'm going to get started straight away. We've not got a time limit on this test. We'll see how long it takes. I'll do it carefully because of course I don't want to make any mistakes. So pause the video if you need to get a book or a piece of paper to write on, but if you're ready, we'll get started. Question 1. Write the number which has 4 hundreds, 5 tens and 2 ones. 4 hundreds, 5 tens and 2 ones. Ones are also called units, aren't they? So what is it? 4 hundreds, 5 tens and 2 units. I've just put my hats on above the answer box just to check. 452, 452. I'm happy with that. And on to question 2. Circle the even number. What do even numbers end in? 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0. Now the only number here that ends in one of those is this. Did you spot that before me? So 790 is the even number. Question 3. Tick one of the boxes below. A day would usually be measured in weeks. No. Seconds? Not really, not usually. Years? No. A day would be measured in hours, wouldn't it? So I tick that box because it says tick. Doesn't matter if you make these little crosses outside of the answer box, that's totally fine. That's just my workings. Like this up here was just my workings. Okay? Let's move on to question 4. I'll have to clear what I've done, so pause the video if you still need it. But we'll move the Excel page down to question 4. Tick the month with 30 days. So we might need a little rhyme. 30 days has September, April, June and November. That's all we need of the rhyme because we're looking for months with 30 days. 30 days has September, April, June and November. September, April, June, November. Oh, April's there. So it's April. Let's just check the rhyme. 30 days has September, April, June and November. Yep, it's definitely got 30 days. The rest of the rhyme we don't need for this question. So question 5, how much change? Now when I see how much change, I'm thinking I'll have to do a minus at some point. Because how much change is normally a minus question. How much change would you receive if you paid with a 50p coin for a pencil sharpener that cost 24p? Well, I know I spent 24p, got to find my change. The money you started with, the 50p coin, take off the money you spent, that will show you the change. So column method for subtraction. 0 take away 4 we can't do, get some help. This is morning maths every day, isn't it? 10 take away 4 is 6, 4 take away 2 is 2. 26, is it 26 pounds or 26p? Because we've got to put pounds or p, it's p, isn't it, this question? You never put pounds and pence, you only put one sign or the other. This time it's a 26p sign. On to question 6. Write the number of pencils. So we've got a picture of some pencils, we've got to write the number. 100, 200, 300, 10 and 20. And 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. 324. You got these kind of questions in the infants, maybe you remember. There's the 300, there's the 20, and there's the 4. 324. See how I check every single answer? Some of you might think the start of the test is easy, but I don't want to make any mistakes because I need to get 50 out of 50. Fill in the boxes to make the times correct. Something o'clock, that's 6 o'clock. The long hand does the minutes, the shorthand does the hours, 6 o'clock. And this one, shorthand does the hours, 3 o'clock. 6 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Question 8, write 3 more coins that you would need to make 36p. 20p plus something 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 equals 36p. Let's try a 10p. I'm going to write it on top until I'm sure. 20 plus 10 is 30. Then let's try a 5. 35 so far, so just 1p left. 20, 30, 35, 36, that works. So I just wrote them on top, but I'll put them in when I know that I'm correct. Otherwise the box can become a mess, can't it, if you change your mind. And changing your mind is good if you spot a mistake and you change it, but better to change my mind above than in the answer box. So there we go. 30, 35, 36. Happy with that. And on to question 9. How many seconds are in 1 minute? Now this is something you just have to have learned. How many seconds are in 1 minute? There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. If you don't know that, write it down now. It'll help you to remember it. How many minutes are in 1 hour is 60 again. A lot of time is out of 60. But not this last one. How many hours are in 1 day? Well, there's 24 hours in a day. That includes the day and the night, the light and the darkness. About 24 hours in 1 day. On to question 10. Fill in all the boxes below to complete the 4 times table to 40. Well, that's easy. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's easy if you know your song. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28, and 32, 36 and 40. 44 and 48. We don't need any more though. So just check my 4 times table is correct. That I added 4 each time. Another name for times is repeated addition. So you just keep adding 4, and there's your 4 times table. Question 11, write the answer in the box. 934 plus 7. So I'm going to, because I can, I'm going to do it in my head and on paper. If you can do both, then I would recommend both. In my head, I'm thinking it's 941. Now I do it on paper, and it's 941. So it's almost like 2 people have done it. I've got to double check. 941. Pause if you need those workings. Let's go on to question 12. We're getting through this now, aren't we? Already on question 12. Subtract 45 from 72. So don't write it like this, 45 from 72, because don't do that, because in minus, you have to put the biggest number on the top, don't you? So we're subtracting the 45 from the 72, and the biggest number, the 72, goes on the top. Column method, which we do all the time in morning maths. We're just using the skills that we get in morning maths and other lessons. 27. Does that make sense? 72 take away 45 is 27. Yeah? Question 13, write the answer in the box. This one I'm going to do in my head and on paper, because my head's going to tell me that when I add 300, it'll be 758. Be really good for you to copy these workings. Even try and do it, if you're one of the fast people at maths, try and do it before I do the workings. And then see what I get. If you're not sure about this question, just copy me and it will help your brain to remember it. 758. Make sure you did the right sign. Plus makes things get bigger. Question 14 next. Let's move the page down actually. Oh no, we've got all question 14, that's right. 100 equals something plus 30. So there's the answer really. 100, they've put the answer at the front. And this is really the question, because you've got equals there. So one side of the equals is 100. Well, that means the other side of the equals must be 100. Something plus 30 makes 100. It is, oops, let's not do that. It is 70. 70 plus 30 makes 100. And then 100 equals 60 plus something. 60 plus what is 100? It is 40. 70 plus 30 equals 100. 60 plus 40 equals 100. You've just got the answers at the front instead of at the end. Bit of a trick maybe. On to question 15. Question 15. Fill in the empty boxes writing each amount in pence only. You've got to put this amount into pence. £2.34 is how many pence? Well, £2 is 200 pence. So it's going to be 234 pence. £2.34 is 234p. The other one, £4 is 400 pence and 99 more pence. 499p. And they've put the p sign here, so you don't have to write it. You shouldn't write it if it's already there. Question 16, addition, column addition. This one's a bit hard to do in my head, so I'm just going to do this one on paper. This would be a great one to record and just get the practice in for your column method. And you get 863. Make sure I put it in the answer box. I hope I've remembered that every time. I can't go back and check now. If I had a paper test, I'd go back and check that I'd put every answer in the answer box because I just thought of it. 863, definitely did the right sign, plus makes things bigger. And let's move on to question 17. Draw 3 lines to show the value of the 5 in each number. 5 ones. Okay, so this one's hundreds, tens, units. That's that 5 there. We're looking for the value of the 5 in each number. That 5 there is hundreds because it's hundreds, tens, and units. And there's one that says 500s, so that matches up, doesn't it? 500s to 500s. This one is in the units column, isn't it? The 5, which is also called ones, as I say all the time in morning maths. So units is ones. And this one, units, tens, and hundreds. This has got the 5 in the tens column, which matches up to there. So that's how you do that question. You could rub these hats off after, but you could keep them. It's not going to mean you get it wrong if they stay there. Question 18. Write the time shown by the clock in the box below. Okay. So the shorthand tells us the hours. So first I go to the shorthand and see, if you go from clockwise round like this, the shorthand, see how it's gone past the 6, which means it's 6 something. 6 something. I'm going to note it up here. And the longhand shows us the minute, and it's pointing straight down. You can count the minutes in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's 6:30. It doesn't say how you have to write it, so I'm sure it will be correct if you write 6:30 like this. I just wrote it up there in case I did something wrong before I put it in the answer box. Keep your answer box nice and clear and not messy by doing your workings outside of the answer box. That's question 18. You could obviously, for this, you could write 6:30. You could write 6:30 in words, anything that means 6:30. Let's move on to question 19. I've got an answer page for this after, so I'll put that on at the end of the video so we can check. In the box, write the number that the arrow should point to. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Let's make sure it works if I keep going up to this 90. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yes, it does work. So it's 70. Question 20. Complete the frequency table below. That just means a number table, really, where you have number of children here. Favourite colour, red. Number of children, 12. Favourite colour, blue. Number of children, a mystery. Favourite colour, yellow. Number of children, 8. Total, 30. So there's 30 children. There's no total of the colours, of course. But there's 30 children in total. Who picked blue? Well, 12 and 8. What does 12 and 8 make? It makes 20, doesn't it? So 20 children are there, but the total's 30. So we'll need another 10 children to get up to the total. 12 plus 10 is 22, plus 8 is 30. So the missing number is 30. On to question 21 already. 21 already. Question 21. Fill in all the boxes below to complete these multiples of 100. So the 100 times table goes 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then 1000, which is also known as 1000, but we normally say 1000. So that's a bit of the 100 times table. It didn't start at the beginning, started at 600. Let's go on to question 22. Place the correct sign. This is called greater than or less than or equals in the box. Which is the biggest? This is the biggest. I would always say crocodile eats the biggest number. So the crocodile eats that number. This is called the less than sign. 456 is less than 654, which is true. So we've got the right sign. On to question 23. What is 345 less than 705? This is column subtraction with the biggest number at the top. So we put the biggest number at the top. 5 take away 5 is 0. 10 take away 4, 6. And 360 is our answer. Minus makes things get smaller. That's why the 705 got smaller. Don't get tricked and think that you put 345 on the top. You must put the biggest number on the top. Question 24. 792 equals 700 plus something plus 2. Now these are done in morning maths all the time. The 700s is there. The 2 units is there. What's missing is the 9t. 9 tens, literally 90. So 90 goes into the missing box. And on to question 25. Make sure you remember to write down some of my workings, write the answers down to help you remember this in the future. It will help you. So, question 25, draw a bar onto the bar chart below that shows 60 votes for horse. Cat has got how many votes? Right. When you get a chart like this, you see the numbers at the bottom are not complete. 0, something, something, something. What does it go up in? What shall we try? Tens? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. That does work actually. So I'll write it on. If it doesn't work, we try another number. On the lines, I'm going to write 10, 20, 30. I know it's unusual to write on the lines like this. You normally write in the boxes, but these answers are written on, on a line like that, aren't they? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. That's 50. That's 60. That's 70. And if we've done it right, plus 10 is 80. Okay. So cat is actually between 40 and 50. That'll be 45. And I don't have to do this, but I like doing this anyway. Dog is 30. Good practice to write the number on the bars. But what we need to draw is 60 votes for horse. Well, there's 60, so my bar will end there. 60 votes for horse. Now this might be quite a difficult one for you to do at home because you don't have the chart. Maybe I could do it a bit straighter than that. So 60 votes for horse. You don't have to write the number on the bar, but it wouldn't be wrong if you did. 60 votes for horse, and we're done. On to question 26. So we've got to the halfway point, and we like to think that all children could get to halfway through this test in the time. Some people might struggle to get much further than that. Of course, some of you will get to the end. We normally have this time for 50 minutes, but we're not doing a strict timing today. I should do it less than 50 anyway. Question 26. Draw 3 lines to match the Roman numerals with the numbers. Okay, let's do the first one. V. I have a little rhyme for this, don't I? I vote extra large Cadbury's Dairy Milk. And then I go 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000. Now, I know we don't need all these letters. That's my little rhyme for remembering it. I vote extra large Cadbury's Dairy Milk. So, V11. V is 5, 1 is 1, I is 1. 5, 6, 7. That one's worth 7. Next one, 1x. 1 before the x means x is 10, but 1 being before it means 10 take away 1. So that one's 9. That's the hardest one, I think, on this one. And this one is 10, 11, 12. That's definitely 12, so that goes up to there. And we're okay. Question 7. Tick the box below the clock that shows 8:45. Let's look for the hour hand. This hour hand's just before 9. This hour hand is around 12, so it's not that one. And this hour hand is just past 9, so those two are near to 9. We're on 8:45. So this hour hand has not quite reached 9. This hour hand is already past 9. So it's got to be the first one. I haven't even told the time really, but it's got to be the first one. Because the hour hand, which comes round like this, the short hand there, is still not at 9. And then if you look at the minutes hand, it's quarter of the way to getting to the top, which would be 2:09. So it's the first one. It's no problem if you scribble things on the clocks. It's the answer box that needs to be clear. So we've ticked the box that showed 8:45, and we've got the right box. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's go on to question 28. Write the name of this shape in the box below. Well, you have to know it, don't you? It's a hexagon. It's a hexagon. Looks like I've changed to a red pen for a while. Hexagon have six sides, is a hexagon. This is how I count sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely 6 sides, and it's a hexagon. Question 29. How many pizzas did Anna eat this year? Jack, Tess, Daniel, Anna. So that's who we need. So I mark that, Anna. She ate 3 pizzas, didn't she? Oh, no. No, because on this pictogram, one picture of a pizza equals 4. So she actually ate 4, 8, 12 pizzas, because each pizza represents 4 pizzas. 4, 8, 12. So how many pizzas did Anna eat? 12 pizzas. So watch out for that question, because the picture of a pizza didn't mean 1, it meant 4 in this case. Which is a bit strange, but that's what happens on pictograms. Otherwise they get too big. You have to draw too many pieces, so they make 1 represent 4 or something like that. Question 30 next. Now we are getting to the harder questions now, aren't we? Getting to question 30. Might not be for everybody now. A 35-minute lesson begins at 11:10 a.m. What time will it end? So time is not out of 100, so you normally have to be very careful because it's out of 60. But 11:10 to the minutes, I can add 35 minutes onto 10 minutes and get 35 plus 10 is 45, so I'd get 11:45 a.m. Now they already did the a.m. for me, so 11:45 a.m. is my answer on that one. Question 30. There are 431 toys in a shop, 243 are sold. How many toys are left in the shop? Well, we had some toys, if we were the shopkeeper. Some were sold, so we're going to have less. So it's going to be a minus to make it less. Do all your normal borrowing that you do all the time in morning maths. That's why morning maths is so important, to give you the skills to then take into these word problems. We don't do proper word problems in morning maths, although we use some vocabulary, don't we? But now we're doing word problems with those skills. 188 toys. You could write toys, you don't have to. So 188 is our answer, and we're on to question 32. 10 more than 479. Just got to make sure you go the right way on this one. 10 more than that, you could do a column method and just plus. And it's going to be 489 if you do 10 more. So that one's going to be 489 because it's more than 479, isn't it? Now less than 305, that's 305 take away 10, which is going to be 295, isn't it? Let's check. Is that right? No, I don't think I needed to do that borrowing. 5 take away 0 you can do anyway, it's 5. You just need to do this borrowing. 295, that's what I thought. Because 295, less than 305 is 295. You have to be very careful that you go the right way on these questions, so check them carefully. Question 33. I wonder if I'll get done in 40 minutes or so. It's not a race though, this test, it's really not. Some children try and rush through these. The number one thing you've got to do is try and get everything right. If you're really good at maths, try and get everything right that you possibly can. And it doesn't matter if you're not so confident at maths or if you are really good at maths. You need to do the questions slowly and carefully. If you're not so confident at maths, you don't need to get to the end of this test. The last 10 questions are so hard anyway. It's all about being accurate at maths. A race is 100 metres. Estimate how far this runner has run so far. Estimate, okay. Does it go up in tens? A lot of things go up in tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I think it's 60 metres. So you don't have to estimate so much when you've got the grids. But when you print this out at school, these grid lines here don't appear. So you couldn't work out exactly. You'd actually have to estimate, thinking that halfway was about here. It's gone past halfway. Halfway would be 50, so 60 is a good estimate. In the answer, on the answer page, it says accept anything between 55 and 65, because an estimate doesn't have to be an exact number. Question 34, total, that means plus. Let's total these numbers, 286, 234. 6 and 4 goes nicely to make 10. 11, 12, and 520. Already question 35. We are really coming to the questions now that not the whole class gets to. Only some children normally get this far, and they should be getting harder. Fill in the empty box. Well, the answer is at the front here, isn't it? Because equals is there. The question is over here. but it's not broken or it's not got any missing parts, so we can just do it. 359 plus 288. More column addition. You've been doing so much of that this year. It will always be one of the most important things in maths that you ever do. 647 I've got to. And that goes neatly as you can in the answer box. Question 36. Fill in all the boxes below to complete these multiples of 3. Multiples of 3 is the 3 times table. But as you can see, this is starting a long way past the end of the 3 times table. You have to plus 3 every time. 96 plus 3 is 99. Plus 3 is 102. Plus 3 is 105. Plus 3 is 108. Plus 3 is 111. Plus 3 is 114. Plus 3 is 117. And plus 3 is 120. Just be careful when you're doing that. Not easy, really. We're working on year 3 and learning our 3 times table. 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. But this is much past the end of that. So, as I say, it's not for everyone. These later questions are testing the people who are very confident in maths. Right, the 9th multiple of 4. That's 9 times 4. I'm going to sing my 4 times table up to 9 fingers. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28, 32, 36. It's 36. The 9th multiple of 4. 36. On to question 38. I'm probably going to teach through these harder questions quite quickly because the only people who normally get this far to do these difficult questions are quite confident at maths anyway. Write the time shown by this clock in the box below. Look, it's in Roman numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So hours is pointing to 9. 1x is 9. And the minute was pointing to 9, yeah. Pretty much to 9. The minutes is only on 5. So 9, 5. How do we write 9, 5? Well, this is why it's a tricky question. You have to write 9:05 like this. The other ways of writing this answer could be 5 minutes past 9. You could write that. 5 minutes past 9. You don't have to mention AM or PM on this question. Question 39. What time is 40 minutes after 7:30 PM? Now, if you did add 40 minutes to that, you would get 770, wouldn't you? Now, 770 is not a time because time's not out of 100, it's out of 60. So this is quite tricky. You have to add 30 minutes to 7:30 to get to 8 o'clock and then add the other 10 minutes to get to 8:10 PM. 8:10 PM. You could put 1 dot there and that would still be okay. 8:10 PM. Question 40. Now we're doing some takeaway with money. What is £2.43 less, which means takeaway, than £3.69? There's actually no working box here. This is quite tricky, but I know some of you go past. This is really past year 3 level, isn't it? For a lot of you. But some of you go past year 3 level on the morning maths anyway, so you're used to it. We get £1.26. They've written the pound sign, so £1.26. That's our answer. Right, the last few questions, these are definitely not for everyone. These are for, basically, the idea of these questions is to stop people getting 50 out of 50. The idea is they're tricky questions, they're going to trick you, they're going to be really hard maths. So you might not follow me anymore through this test now, unless you're very confident at maths. So question 41. Holly buys a pencil costing 49p and a ruler costing 27p. When I see that, I'm thinking, let's find out what she spent then. So find out what she spent before we do the next bit. 76p. Remember that she spent 76p. How much change? That is a minus. Will she receive if she pays with a £1 coin? Now 76p is in p. £1 is in pounds. So change the pound into p. It's 100p, isn't it? £1. Then you can do what we spent, which was 100p. Sorry. We could do the money we had, take away the money we spent. So the money we had was the £1 coin. 100p is £1 coin, isn't it? Take away the 76. And let's see how much change you will get. Do the borrowing. And we get 24. They've written the p sign, so 24p is the answer. Question 42. Draw the pictures needed to show 25 oranges on a pictogram. That means 10 apples, that means 10 oranges. So you've got to draw some oranges. We've got to draw 25 oranges, but one orange is 10. So I've already drawn 10 oranges, do a little dot, 20 oranges. They don't have to be really good. It's not art, is it? They don't have to be really good oranges. It's not an art test. What are we going to do for the other 5 oranges? 10, 20, we're going to do half an orange, aren't we? Half an orange. 10, 20, 25 oranges, because 5 is half of 10. On to question 43. Nearly finished this test now. What is the largest even number, or they're getting tricky now, you can make with this? So even, odd, odd, odd. So if it's got to be an even number, this 6 has to go at the end, because it's the end digit that makes things odd or even. Now we need the largest even number, so put the numbers in order of size, biggest at the front. 7, 5, 3, 6. But a 6 has to go at the end, or it wouldn't be even, would it? Question 44. Which letter contains perpendicular lines? Perpendicular lines are lines like this that make a right angle, and that it actually is an L shape. L is the one. L has perpendicular lines. You might not know that. It's a difficult question. Question 45. Circle the shape which is not a polygon. Which is not a polygon. Or polygons are flat shapes like these with straight sides. So to be a polygon, it's got to be a flat shape with straight sides, which is not a polygon. So one that has a side that's not straight. Can you see a side that's not straight? This one has a curved side, doesn't it? So it's not a polygon, because polygons have to have straight sides, all of them. So that's that question. Question 46. How many more? That's a great phrase in maths, great trick phrase, because how many more means minus. More normally means plus, but how many more or how much more means minus. How many more blue cars are there than pink cars? So the numbers are not written on the bar chart. So let's see if it's 10. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Oh, it's not 10s. Maybe it's 20s. 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Oh, it is. That's how I find what goes up the side with the numbers. Just trial and error. Often it's 10s, but obviously not always. This time it was 20s. Blue is in between 60 and 80. 70, isn't it? Red is in between 40 and 60, which is 50. Pink is exactly on 60. I like to write the numbers on the bars just so I know what's going on. How many more blue cars, blue, are there than pink cars? Pink. Make sure you get the right bars. How many more? 70 minus 60 is 10. How many more is a minus? The answer is 10. Question 47. Write the time shown by this clock to the minute. So let's go to the hours hand first, which is the shorthand. This is only slightly shorter. The hours hand has gone past 11. It's not at 12 yet, so it's 11 something. So I'd get my hours sorted first. Minutes, quite tricky. Minute starts on the top and goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52. It's 11:52. I can write that in the answer box. 11:52 or 52 minutes past 11, you might say. Question 48. What is the 48th multiple of 5? Well, that is the 48th number in the 5 times table, but we don't know our 5 times table that far, so it means 48 times 5, okay? That's what we can do, 48 times 5. Now, you haven't done much of this yet, so this really might be quite tricky, but I'm going to do what's called the grid method for 48 times 5, which you may or may not have covered yet. This is a very hard question for a lot of year 3s. You get the 2 answers and you add them up and you get 240. 240. Like I say, these last questions are designed to stop anyone getting 50 out of 50. So they're extremely difficult. So that if you do get 50 out of 50, you know how amazingly well you've done. Question 49. The next even number after 2098. Well, 2099 is the next number, but that's odd. So it'd be the one after that, 2100 is our answer, 2100. And you've also got to get this one right to get question 49. The next odd number after 2999, well, the next number is 3000, but that's even because 0 on the end means even. So it's the number after that, 3001. So the next odd number is 3001. And you have to get both those parts right to get the mark for question 49. Finally, question 50, probably the most difficult one in the whole test. I've got to be really careful I don't get tricked. What is the smallest number that can be added to 3091 that results in an answer in which none of the digits are 0? Okay, so if I added 1, it would be 3092, but I'm trying to add a small number, so that's why I went for 1. But I've still got a 0. If I added 2, I'd get 3093. I've still got this 0. So you don't want a 0 in the answer. We want results in an answer in which none of the digits are 0. So 3094 is not going to work. 3095 is not going to work. All the way up to 3099 is not going to work. But maybe if I do 3100, I get rid of the 0. Well, I got rid of that 0, but I created some more. Okay, 3101. I've got rid of that 0, but I've still got this 0. 3102 doesn't work. All the way up to 3109 doesn't work. After that, 3110. We still got a 0. We got rid of that one we got on there. 3111. Okay, I've got rid of all the zeros there. So this is the number that I want, but I don't think it's the answer. What is the smallest number that can be added to 3091 that results in an answer in which none of the digits are 0? So this is the number I want to get to. You know that minus is the opposite of plus. Okay, so to go backwards, I'll do a minus. And this should tell me what I have to add to that number I was working with earlier. And it's 20. Does that make sense then? What's the smallest number that can be added to 3091 that results in an answer in which none of the digits are 0? Pretty sure it's 20. Because if you do 3091 plus 20, you should get 3111. This is just an extra check. 3091 plus 20. 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 2 is 1, carried a 1. 1, yeah, 3111. None of the digits are 0. That's complicated, isn't it? Complicated to understand what you're doing, but I'm happy with the answer. It is 20. We've done the entire test. I think I think it's best to take my answers as the correct answers, because I'll go back and redo the entire video if I got one wrong. So I have to have got 50 out of 50 to save myself a big lot of time. I don't think I'll put the answer page on, or maybe I will. I can't really decide. Let's just quickly put it on. So you might have to pause. If you want to mark your work, you could go through this answer page now. I'll just keep pressing page down and you can see each question. If not, the video's really finished now, so thanks for following. I'll keep doing this. Pause while you... If you want to, I'll wait a few seconds for each one. If you want to check everything we've done, you can pause each time if you need, in case I'm moving it down too fast. Go down a little bit for the next one. And the next one. This might be a better way of doing it anyway. Next one. And there's question 20 with 10. Question 25, that's the bar, what the bar should have looked like. That's 26. '27, 28 and 29. 30, 1145, 31, 188, 32. There's two answers for question 32. Question 33, accept anything between 55 and 65 because it's an estimate. Question 34 is 520, 35 is 647. 36, there's the multiples of 3, the 3 times table, but really, really high up. Question 37 is 36. Question 8 is 5 past 9 or 9:05 or anything that means that. 39, 40 and 41. 42, you draw the oranges. 2.5 oranges representing 25. There's 43 and 44. If your name begins with L, you have perpendicular lines in the first letter of your name. Other letters have that as well. H or E, many more probably. 45, circle that one. 46, the answer is 10. 47, 1152, 48, 240, and then 49 and 50. The hardest questions, I think, especially question 50. I had to think about that one a lot. So there's all your answers. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again on something else.